Hello again, YouTube. Last time we pretty much wrapped up our old tutorial project. It was sort of an introduction into GML programming, and today I'm going to be starting a whole new project, which will be in the form of a two-dimensional platformer, which is a lot more common than just sort of the basic top-down view of that previous project. So I'll be done covering the tutorial project we're going over, and I'll probably be doing quite a few videos on this one, but for now, we can see our old project over here, and we can say goodbye, and just go to the new project tab. So I've already set up the project directory, and I'm just going to call this tutorial project 2, and let's create. Alright, so basically we've got a whole new blank project here, and like many other projects, I'm just going to start it off with sprite01, a ball. So I'm just going to use this sphere as a, it's not even a sphere, it's just going to be a circle. It's just sort of the basic object form until we actually get some better art into the game. So I'm just going to make this look a little more round real quick. And there, we've got our first sprite. And I'm going to set its origin to its center x8, y8, since it's 16 by 16. And I don't need to check any of these. Alright, so we've got our first sprite. And now I'm going to make another sprite. So I'm just going to call this block01. And this is just going to be a square. So let's just zoom in real quick. And we can fill this. And I'm just going to make a little bit of an outline, just so we know what's what. Alright, so there, we've got a new block 01, and it's a good idea for most games to leave your blocks at their 0, 0, because it means it's a lot easier to put them down on a room. Because when you set them to the center, it gets all centered, and it's a little more awkward. If you set it to 0, 0 for your walls and stuff, it'll align with your grid pretty well. So, let's just make our O player. So, yeah. Alright, so O player, I'm going to set, basically I'm just going to start off with the step event, and we're going to add some basic keyboard controls. So I'm just going to say, if keyboard check vk right, then x plus equals 2, if keyboard check vk left, then x minus equals 2. So just very simple movement right there. And we're just going to set, doesn't need a parent, we're just going to set sprite, and bam. Then I'm going to make an O block. And this is not going to be quite so, I'm not going to use this right now when I do the first test run of the game, but we're just going to leave it like this with sprite and no scripts. And we can make a room. So I'm just going to set it to 16 by 16 grid, which is normally what I like to do. And it says width to 512, 512, and set the max frames per second to 60. So, yeah. So I'm just going to put down some blocks right here. And they're not really so important, but later as we actually get to coding the platformer, we can see these will basically be your platforms. So I'm just going to make a really quick little level here. And then we can just put down our player. And you can see, as I mentioned before, because it has a centered origin, it goes at the center of these rather than being nicely aligned with the grid. So I mean, that's sort of what I like to do. It just makes it a little easier to put down your walls and platforms by setting the origin to the top left corner. So yeah, we can run the game now. And because we haven't added any code for falling or gravity or jumping or anything, this is all you're going to be able to do in your game. So I'm sort of layered below these walls, but so far I'm just going to be able to move left and right. So it's time to change that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to add in the step event, if not collision rectangle, x minus 3, y minus 4, x plus 3, y plus 4, and then I'm going to set it to O block, and then I'm just going to set precise and not me to true. I forget if I already covered this or not, but you can use 1 in place of true and 0 in place of 1, and 0 in place of false. I mean, whenever you have a true or false value for a function. Yeah. So basically, this is going to make a very simple collision. And actually, I need to make this 8, and then these should be like 7 or something. Then what I will do is I will set the vSpeed variable plus equals 0.1. So the vSpeed variable is, again, it's your basically it gets added to your y every single step. So what this is so by default your vSpeed is 0. And I'm going to set an else right here that sets your vSpeed to 0 when you collide with a block. And I'm also going to set your y to equal y previous. And so what this is going to do is that every time you're not colliding with a block on the every time you're not on top of a block, indicated by basically this y plus 8 is going from your center down 8, so it's the bottom of the player object. Then the vSpeed is added to by 0.1. Otherwise, the vSpeed is set to 0 and y equals y previous. And so I'll just show you what this will look like right now. So it's very simple so far. As you can see, I fell, and I can fall down here. It's sort of smooth, and I just accelerate downwards. And I can't really jump yet to go anywhere. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm going to make another if statement right here. So I'm going to say if collision rectangle. I'm going to say x minus 7, y minus 8, x plus 7, and then I want it to go a little below the bottom of the object, just so it's very reliable, just so you have a little bit of extra room while jumping, because I mean, because if you set the bottom of your collision box to the bottom of the object, then if it does y previous, that y equals y previous could just make you go above the block a little and make you not always able to jump. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to say y equals 9. So it's a little below the bottom of the player object, and this will mean that you'll be able to reliably jump. And then we'll just see if it's we'll say if it's standing on the block, and then I should probably actually make this an AND statement, because I will also say if keyboard check. And this is how you do letter keyboard checking. You do ORD, and then you do the letter you want capitalized in quotes. So this is basically going to check if the Z key is pressed. And then what I'll do is I'll set vSpeed equals -2. So what this is going to do is it's going to set your vSpeed to -2, which is of course up, and so we can check this right now. So basically, as you can see, I'm colliding with a block right now, and if I press Z, you'll see that I get a you'll see that my vSpeed equals -2, or it's set equal to -2, which is up. And now the thing is that because I have you can see I can sort of glitch through the blocks right now. It's not colliding. I'm not colliding from the side or anything yet, but as you can see, I can jump. And because I'm not colliding with the block when I'm in midair, gravity is taking effect, so it's subtracting that same amount from my vSpeed while I'm in midair while jumping. So that allows this nice little smooth arc right here, rather than it being sort of just goes up and then down. It's sort of this gradual parabolic shape, and it looks nice and smooth. So yeah, we've got some basic jumping, and I'm running out of time for the video. I want to keep this under 10 minutes, and so that's pretty much how I've gotten. So basically in this video I've covered you can move left and right with the arrow keys, and you can jump with the Z key. And I basically implemented some form of gravity over here. You can sort of collide with the blocks so you don't just fall through them, and you can also jump with vSpeed equals -2. Remember, you can always set the vSpeed to less values to go higher. But yeah, see you next time.